We have updates to the drive-by shooting at Our Lady of Victory Church from last Friday.
And a man carrying 13 migrants in his truck was fatally shot while exchanging gunfire with police in New Mexico.
We are looking at the Dome of Doom there, and it does have a possibility that it's going to be moving back to the west. And if it does so, we may have a chance of getting some different kind of weather here. We might even see a cloud or a rain shower. I'll have all that coming up.
And last night it came down to the wire for a Little League baseball team, and also the Victoria Generals are back in Victoria. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
New at 10, a shooting that left 2 Shiner residents dead, still being investigated. Shiner Police Chief Kevin Kelso told the Shiner Gazette that 52-year-old Roderick Earl Haley and his wife, 45-year-old Anna Marie Haley, died from apparent gunshot wounds. Chief Kelso said he is not ready to call the shootings a murder-suicide since officers found in the house that day a 14-year-old child hidden away. Police say they have not interviewed the child.
2 Woodsboro men have pleaded guilty in a hate crime from October 2021. These 2 men assaulted a black teen with a stun gun while wearing Ku Klux Klan robes on Halloween night back in 2021. The Refugio County Press reports Noel Garcia Jr. pleaded guilty on June 29th to a Class A misdemeanor assault charge with a hate crime enhancement. He was placed on probation for 2 years along with a 21-day sentence in the Refugio County Jail. Rance Bullock pleaded guilty Tuesday to a Class A misdemeanor criminal mischief charge. He was placed on probation for 2 years.
A jury trial date set for 28-year-old Craig Wilkinson. He's accused in an injury to a child case. A grand jury indicted him early last month. Wilkinson was arrested on Monday and at last check remains in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of a $30,000 bond. He was arraigned yesterday.
This evening, the Victoria Electric Cooperative announced a power outage at the loop at 463 substation. Crews have currently worked on that and the situation has been restored. Now we have new details on that drive-by shooting at Our Lady of Victory Cathedral last Friday at 1309 Mesquite Lane. Authorities say the estimated cost of damage is at $25,000. A brass door and decorative stained glass window were damaged. Under state law, any criminal act that causes damage to a place of worship is a felony offense.
There were also another shots fired call that night, but investigators are unsure if the shootings are connected. The church is working on their insurance claim to get the damage fixed. One of the bullets went through a stained glass window pane at the front of the place of worship.
The bullet went through the stained glass and through another interior window pane inside the cathedral. Another bullet dented the brass front door. If you know someone connected to this drive-by shooting and you want to remain anonymous, call the Crime Stoppers line at 361-572-4200, or you can call VPD authorities at 361-485-3730. And so here is your viewer poll tonight. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, do you think the shooting at OLV was random or targeted? Well, according to these results tonight, 23% say random and 77% say targeted. Thank you for voting tonight.
Today was the Be Well Victoria Coalition quarterly meeting. They discussed upcoming events that the coalition may be having. The steering committee was updated on the latest projects. This committee focused on evaluating the community resource centers in Victoria.
Gets a lot of its feedback from the community. It gives us an idea of some of the resources that may be missing in the community, some things that the community may want to see brought to the community.
The organization tries to help the community with physical activities such as yoga and other activities. And let's take a first look at your forecast with First Orange Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. I think it's safe to say that activities outdoors these days will break a sweat. Would you agree with that, Mac?
Oh, and you know, sitting in the car driving to work, you break a sweat. I mean, it's pretty kind of amazing. Folks, at this hour of the night, we're at 85 degrees, and congratulations, we made it to another 100 this afternoon. And by the end of the month, we'll start totaling up to see how many hundreds we had for the month as well. But we're going to be in the triple digits again tomorrow, but as the weekend arrives, I'm optimistic that it'll lower into the upper 90s. We'll have more coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Mac, thank you. Victoria County Animal Services reports 2 people have been bitten by a fox in the area of Woodsprite Road. The fox has not been located at this time. Authorities will trap and test several foxes from the area of the fox bites, and they say they have not had any rabid foxes at this time. If you have a physical conflict with a fox, please contact Victoria County Animal Services at 361-578-3574, or if it's an emergency, of course, call 911.
The Point Lavaca Chamber of Commerce says that 38,000 jobs in Texas and the USA are related to the Matagorda Ship Channel commerce. The Matagorda Ship Channel expansion project is on hold. The port asks the community to continue to show their support for the Matagorda Ship Channel expansion project by public opinion. Come to crossroadstoday.com to find that link to send comments or concerns directly to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. New video shows what happened to a man fatally shot by police while exchanging gunfire with law enforcement in New Mexico over the weekend.
Authorities say the man drove past a Border Patrol checkpoint with 13 people hiding in his trailer under traffic barrels.
Show me your hands! No, show me your hands! Both hands out the window! Both hands out the window! Show me your hands!
This is what deputies were yelling moments before they exchanged gunfire with a driver in Las Cruces on Sunday. Authorities say the man led deputies on a chase onto Del Rey Boulevard and Settlers Pass when the driver opened fire on them. Doña Ana County Sheriff Kim Stewart says that 2 police units noticed a truck pulling an open trailer with a blown-out tire near a Circle K and attempted to stop it. The driver did not stop as sparks are seen flying from one of the tires.
These speeds that this driver is reaching now, between here and where the stop is made, he's reaching up to 70 miles an hour. And it's remarkable, frankly, that that rim held up as long as it did.
Dash cam footage shows the moment the truck stops. Stewart says Border Patrol notified deputies that people were hiding under traffic barrels housed inside the open trailer. In this dash cam footage, you can see one of the barrels move and a head peeking out from inside. The driver can also be heard saying he has a gun and threatened to kill himself.
He said he's got a gun. Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
So the driver isn't being compliant, but the people in the bed are raising their hands.
Stewart says the Las Cruces Police and Doña Ana County Sheriff's deputies tried to get the people inside the trailer to safety. She says 9 minutes after the truck stopped, the sheriff says the suspect fired at least 1 round. She says officers fired back, injuring the driver. The man driving the truck was taken to an area hospital where he later died. Another woman was injured and also taken to the hospital and was released that same night.
At the time, it was our agencies that came together to effect essentially a rescue of those people in the trailer. There were 13.
The sheriff's office says the incident is still under investigation and Border Patrol is also investigating. A 4th bus arrived Tuesday evening in Los Angeles carrying 41 migrants from Brownsville. 35 adults and 6 children ranging from 1 to 15 years old were on the bus. According to the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of Los Angeles, the migrants came from a range of countries including Brazil, Chile, China, Colombia, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, and Venezuela. They said the migrants will be connected with loved ones or sponsors across the West Coast.
The Texas Tribune reports West Texas gas operators released tons of excess emissions during June's intense heat wave. This article is also available at crossroadstoday.com.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The creation of a new combined dispatch center along with the adoption of the downtown waterfront master plan was approved in Calhoun County's council meeting. Plus, the Point Comfort City Council applied for a grant to repair the city's pool, and the Calhoun County Humane Society paid a visit to the Trinity Shores Senior Living. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so when you get on YouTube, you can find Crossroads Today. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. Hoover police share new details in Alabama in the case of Carly Russell, who was reported missing last week.
Also ahead, there's new details in former President Donald Trump's January 6th probe.
One person is dead with several hurt after a shooting inside a Florida Walmart. Aerials show a man in handcuffs being placed in the back of a police car. It's currently unknown whether another shooter was involved. Multiple people were taken to hospitals while at least one person had to be transported as a trauma alert. The shooting remains under active investigation.
Alabama police say they're unable to verify a woman's account that she was abducted by a man and woman and held for 2 days. Carly Russell told Hoover police it all started when she pulled over to check on a child on the side of an interstate on Thursday. Hoover police say she told them she was held at a house but managed to escape 49 hours after she was abducted. She returned home to her family's front door Saturday night on foot.
She told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler.
Police say they have found no evidence a toddler was walking on the interstate, and no one has reported a child missing. Police are still investigating and have not said whether she could face charges if it's deemed she staged her alleged abduction. Some of Donald Trump's Republican rivals in the 2024 race for the White House are now echoing his claims that the Justice Department is being weaponized against him.
The former president has confirmed he received a letter from special counsel Jack Smith identifying him as a, quote, target, unquote, of a grand jury probe into the January 6th riot and what has been called efforts to overturn the 2020 election outcome.
Campaigning in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, former President Donald Trump denouncing the probe by special counsel Jack Smith that could result in his third criminal indictment.
If you say something about an election, they want to put you in jail for the rest of your life. It's a disgrace.
Trump confirming he received Smith's letter naming him as a target of an investigation into alleged efforts by him and others to overturn the 2020 election results and Trump's alleged actions surrounding the deadly January 6th Capitol attack. Trump insisting he is innocent and that the Biden administration is using the Justice Department to go after him. Several Republicans, including some competing against him for the Republican presidential nomination, coming to his defense.
The DOJ is in fact weaponizing the tools of our country against their political opponents.
But not all of Trump's GOP rivals are calling the Justice Department corrupt.
He sent people up there to put pressure, I believe, on Mike Pence and on members of Congress to stall the peaceful transition of power.
ABC News learning the special counsel's target letter includes 3 federal statutes: conspiracy to defraud the U.S., witness tampering, and deprivation of rights under color of law, which applies when someone in authority uses their power to deny the constitutional rights of other Americans. Meantime, the judge overseeing Trump's classified records trial in Florida is expected to decide on a start date soon. The special counsel is pushing to start in December, while Trump's team is arguing to delay until after the 2024 election. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
The previously anonymous IRS whistleblower in the Hunter Biden probe identified himself publicly today during a House Oversight Committee hearing. Joseph Ziegler outlined examples of prosecutors not following the normal investigative process. He also echoed claims that IRS investigators recommended charging Hunter Biden with far more serious crimes than what Hunter agreed to plead guilty to then. Ziegler was removed from the Hunter Biden case. He said he was wrongfully retaliated against by the Biden administration. Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. DeWitt County 4-H'ers seeking support for national finals. Cuero Regional hosting a blood drive tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Plus, Pet Adoptions of Cuero happily reports that more senior citizens are adopting pets. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
Well, good evening, everyone. The heat advisories do continue for all of our areas for the next couple of days, in fact, for quite some time. But the big bubble of high pressure is going to be moving around as we get to the weekend. And if it does, we may get a break. We may actually see a cloud or two around here. And wouldn't that be nice to see a little rain shower? We'll have more on that coming up in a moment. Stay tuned. Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, we made it to the triple digits once again. Does that make us a 3A team or a minor league team or something? Doesn't it qualify us for something? You know, getting this hot this often, and at the end of this month, we're going to total all this up, see how many 100-degree days we had, and we can start taking bets if you like, because I'm going to say it's about 15. Right about now, you know, all of our areas of Texas along the coast, they were in the upper 90s. Everybody else was in the hundreds. Those are the high temperatures around the area. I like going down 35 here. 105 in Dallas, 105 in Waco, 103 in Austin, 104 San Antonio, and 109, yikes, in Laredo and Cotulla. Now these are the forecast highs for tomorrow. You see not a lot of changes. It's not until about Friday or Saturday that I see a little bit of movement in the dome of doom that has been over us for so long, bringing us this incredible heat wave. The heat wave now is kind of spread out. It came down from the northern sections of the plains down to the coastline and to the west, but as the center of it moves around, this is what I think is going to happen. Now, we're still triple digits here. We're still triple digits Thursday and Friday, but beginning on Friday, you're going to see this thing back up to the southwest, and it's going to give us just enough of a loosening of the atmosphere that we may see a few clouds and maybe a couple of little afternoon showers. I washed my car. So if everybody washes their car, then maybe the rain will get here. You know, I mean, at this point, we'll do whatever we can. But we're going to have about 2-3 days of that now, of possible clouds. Now, in the 6 to 10 day outlook, you'll see that the Dome of Doom is again over the southwest, but now it spreads up into the Dakotas and Kansas and Nebraska and Oklahoma and Iowa. I hope their cornfields do well, but it's going to be tough. But you can see here we have a little bit of a break. That's where the highest temperatures will be. We're in the 50% level there. Now, one more view here. This is the future tracker. We're going through all the way to about 7 days. So on Saturday, all of a sudden, little raindrops begin to pop up around the area. That's a good sign. And then on Sunday, we start seeing a couple of little rain showers possible around here as well. And we go forward all the way to Monday, and yeah, even then. But you might have noticed that the high pressure is now beginning to pull over our area, so that by the time we get to Tuesday, a lot of it's really going to go away. And so, you know, we're optimistic that we get something this weekend. This is the west coast of Africa. This is another big plume of African dust that's going across the Atlantic. That's why the Atlantic is sort of shut down for the time being, even though down here we've got something brewing. This big dust thing is going to be rolling over Miami probably tomorrow. And then before the weekend, probably Thursday, Friday, will be affecting the Gulf and Texas as well. So we had a little dust before. This one's a bigger one than the first one. So here's Dandy Dawn, which keeps sort of spilling around there. But it's down here. I want to attract your attention. We have an easterly wave right here. This one has a good potential to develop into something that we're going to be watching. So tomorrow in Lavaca, you're getting up to 95 degrees. And for those of you in Cuero, getting up to 101. Yes, it's going to be hot, triple digits against Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then you should start seeing a little bit more cloud cover and hopefully 1 or 2 little rain showers around the area for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that and put it on your cell phone. And now it's time for Gino in Sports.
Thanks, Mac. A former Victoria East quarterback is being rated on the newest Madden video game. We see his overall rating in sports. At a crossroads, the Victoria Generals are back in Victoria to take on the Brazos Valley Bombers. The Bombers had a monster first inning, scoring multiple runs and continued to add to it with multiple base hits, and the Generals found themselves in a pretty deep hole out of the end of 2 innings. But things to look to get worse, but Levi Castaneja shows off his arm and throws out the runner at third. Levi would be thrown out of the game later on. The Generals get something going when Easton Dowell steals 2 bases off an Aaron pickoff throw, putting himself in scoring position. A few pitches later, a wild pitch would bring Dowell home as he makes the score 4-2 heading into the 4th inning. But a bizarre play would be coming up shortly after as the batter hits the ball, the batter breaks, the bat flies toward the third baseman, but the Bombers are focused enough to turn the double play. The Generals come all the way back and scored 2 runs in the 5th inning and a run in the 6th to tie the game to take the lead for the first time in the 8th inning, scoring 1 run. The game is not over, but the Generals have the lead heading into the final inning of play. Victoria's own Bailey Zappi is also a New England Patriots quarterback, and he's going to be in the 2024 video game, and he just got his rating. According to MaddenRatings.com, the Victoria native is rated 63 overall, which is just 12 points lower than the man starting in front of him, Mac Jones. Zappi is given a 78 rating in the passing category, including an 85 throw power and 82 throw accuracy on short passes. These attributes can change depending on how the former Western Kentucky quarterback does during the season. Last year, Zappi totaled 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and is undefeated as a starter. The Patriots start the season with a tough matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, which made the Super Bowl last season. The Victoria North Little League East team are the state champions after a shaky final inning. The Victoria squad had a commanding lead heading into the last inning, but added to it with a run which was scored off of a wild pitch. During the final half inning of play, Lufkin took advantage of Victoria's mistakes, including a missed pop fly to left field and an errant throw from second to first base, which brought in 2 runs. But eventually Victoria took care of business and got the batter out at second to win the title and send the team to Albuquerque, New Mexico. They'll be preparing for the regional tournament, which is set to take place on August 4th. They will play Texas West, Louisiana, Colorado, and New Mexico. The Victoria West Warriors football team is going to be hosting a football camp which starts next week. The youth football camps are for athletes in elementary school and continuing through incoming freshmen. Athletes in grades 2nd through 6th will be starting at 8 in the morning and continue through 10 a.m. for the 3 days, and the older athletes from 7th grade through 9th grade will meet all 3 days starting at 6 p.m. and continue through 8 p.m. The athletes should bring shirts, shorts, tennis shoes, cleats, and water. You do not need to bring pads or a helmet. The cost for the camp is $65, and you can register before or the day of the camp. The camp starts July 25th and continues through the 27th. A QR code to register is on our website at crossroadstoday.com. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gino. Now stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather with Mac. Plus, Netflix is cutting its least expensive ads-free plan.
Breaking news from 25 News Now.
And the breaking news, we just got this in. There's been a crash at Red River and Bend Jordan in Victoria. Once again, a crash at Red River and Bend, Jordan in Victoria. We have a reporter on the scene, the very latest on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Netflix scrapping its least expensive ads-free plan for new members in the U.S. and U.K. The basic plan, a single stream for $10 a month in the U.S., no longer available for new or rejoining members. The move is meant to push customers to its ad-supported package, Standard with Ads. That's what it's called. Standard with Ads launched in November and costs $7 a month. It comes with an average of 4 minutes of unskippable ads per hour. Netflix got rid of the basic plan in Canada last month. Whether you call it a Frankfurter, a Wiener, or a Red Hot, a hot dog by any other name is still delicious. The third Wednesday in July is National Hot Dog Day. I relish it. It's a time to celebrate one of America's best loved snacks. National Hot Dog Day was cooked up by the National Hot and Sausage Council back in 1991. There's still debate on whether you can call it a sandwich or whether or not ketchup belongs as a topping. That's debatable. It's not a sandwich, it's a hot dog. Oh yes, and that hot dog looks like it could cut the mustard right there.
You're saying that ketchup is not legal?
No, I didn't say that. I said some people like ketchup on their hot dog. Other people, like me, will take the mustard or the chili and cheese or the sauerkraut.
I think it's all legal. If
it's
you
all
want to
legal.
top on it, you know.
It's
Put
all
it
legal.
valid.
That's right. It's all valid.
Sauerkraut.
You lost me there.
Like that. And then the Chicago people have what they call the Ghirardelli or something. They have a special thing they put on top of it. So it's all good. It's all hot dogs and it's all whatever you like. Folks, we continue with the triple digits for another 2-3 days. Then over the weekend, I believe we do have a little bit of a change. We'll see a little bit more cloud cover, and with a little luck, we'll have a couple of little showers pop around the area. Like I said, I washed my car, so I'm ready for it. You know, I think I made that ultimate sacrifice for everyone's sake. So you do the same, okay?
Alrighty, thank you, Mac. Now, a bookstore in Wisconsin has a rare collectible that is almost as old as the United States of America that you can purchase. J.C. Weddle Books has a book for sale that's over 200 years old. It's called Navigation Spiritualized and was written in 1664 by John Fable. The copy is an original edition from 1796.
If that many people for that many years have found something of value to keep it, I just think that's neat to think of all the people whose hands it's been in, how many people have read it. When you write a book, like those words can last a long time.
The owner bought the book after recognizing its significance. Alrighty.
That's a lucky find.
That's right. Thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.